Let's do this. Yeah, I mean, you guys are the church planning committee, so you're going to know and probably hear a lot of themes that I experienced this summer. But I mean, I guess the first thing I would say before you all is that I mean, there's no learning like doing, and I just said it, but getting it at the beginning of seminary. I mean, it's just been invaluable. As far as, for me, I came from not being in a church I hadn't worked in a church or had even a lot of experience in churches. So there was just a lot of demystification that happened through sort of the daily ups and downs and meetings and juggles of planting and meeting with John Hummus, meeting with people in the congregation.
So tell us where you did the internship.
New City Fellowship, South City, which I guess would be a little bit out of the traditional planting phase. I guess what's unique is that there are sort of many churches within New City, particularly with immigrants and refugees from Nepal and from Burma. And I spent a lot of time with the Nepalis, the Nepali community, most of which are Hindu, some of which are Christian, but we just had a lot of opportunities to interact, be in the homes of the families. We have a couple things that we do during the week. A Thursday night, Nepali guys' night, even though there are other nations represented there, and then soccer in the park, and just spending a lot of one-on-one and group time. So I guess that kind of covers the community evangelizing, getting out there dimension of the internship, and I found a lot of that really helpful. Coming into it out of the mini assessment weekend, which that mini assessment weekend is also an incredible blessing, just to have that at the beginning of seminary, knowing where to focus, my efforts, my wife and I's efforts over the next few years. But coming out of that, felt like community and evangelism was one area that I was pretty strong in, but this internship threw me out in a new way, and I think there were many times of sort of being befuddled by the cultural differences and frustrated by those, and then surprised and excited by guys that we thought weren't getting it, showing up and on a day we weren't expecting them to come to something, or having a small comment in passing about being interested in learning more about who Moses was. I mean, there's stuff that you just kind of have to be grateful for and tip your hat to the Lord and say, okay, God is at work, and see that very clearly. And so the other dimension of the internship that I was really excited about was leadership. And spending time meeting with John, shadowing leaders, met with a lot of the elders, just learning the history of the church, the vision for it, how it came to be, and kind of the common theme that emerged out of all of those interactions was just that we really can't do anything unless God blesses it, and we really the house is not going to be built unless the Lord lays the foundation. And just seeing the pastors, the elders cling to that, and sort of the humble reliance on the Lord in decision making and leading the congregation and trying to figure out how to structure things, finances, pastoral concerns, educating the church. That's a big area. I think that's actually probably the biggest area of in the life of Youth City, 5, 6, 7 years into it, it's no longer now they're really interested in bringing the gospel deeper into people's lives, knowledge of the gospel, knowledge of the confession and creeds. So that poses unique challenges when there's language barriers and cultural barriers. Anyway, just getting to talk with John and Kevin through all that stuff, it was just invaluable. And again, leadership training 101. I mean, I'm going to look to so many of our interactions that we had as stepping stones for the future. And I guess I would say that thinking about the future, I mean, the way I looked at this internship was this was the chance to sort of test the waters and ask God, is this a direction to continue to pursue? And I felt very, very affirmed in that. Kelly and I both did. My wife works full time as a financial planner, which she wants to continue working into and have a career. So one of the questions for us coming out of assessment, the mini assessment, was sort of doing that juggle and what's that going to look like. And we definitely had our share of frustrations of being on different schedules and wavelengths. I'd be going out at night when she was getting home. But, I mean, we felt overall just like God was faithful and very affirmed in doing church planning, wanting to continue to pursue that, more excited about it. I do think that, there's all kinds of practical takeaways. But one career or calling decision I do think is that to, at least right after seminary, to look for assistant or associate pastorship, to continue, sort of learn under someone who's more experienced and wiser. And so yeah, I think I don't think, coming out of this internship, I do think the idea of graduating seminary and then, jumping right into a plant is pretty daunting. A lot more learning to happen. But yeah, just so thankful for doing this at this stage. And I mean, I think, this church planning, being in South City, thinking about the context of a multi-ethnic cultural church is going to be the lens that the rest of seminary passes through now. So,
great. Thank you very much.